Hello, my name is Karen. So for the first issue is leadership failure and poor crisis response. From the article, after Dr. David Dow was forcibly removed from the plane, the CEO, Oscar Munoz, described it as a reaccommodation. So the problem is that his words didn't match what people clearly saw in the viral video. Instead of showing empathy and taking responsibilities, the response sounded defensive. So this made the public more upset, increased mistrust, and seriously damaged United Airlines' image. Next, the second issue is misalignment between company values and employee actions. United Airlines claims it values respect and customer care, but the way the situation was handled did not show those values. The gate agents, pilot, and security were involved, yet no one stepped in to calm things down or to find more respectful solution. Instead, the staff focused on following procedures without thinking about the human impact or how it would look to the public. As a result, people viewed the incident as unethical, and it made United values seem inconsistent across the organization.
The last issue faced by United Airlines was the lack of employee empowerment. In this incident, the situation could have been handled much better by increasing compensation for volunteers willing to give up their seats. This option would have been far less costly than the public relations crisis and the drop in stock price that followed. However, the gate strictly followed standard procedures and failed to think beyond them. According to William Taylor, this incident highlighted a lack of common sense and initiative at multiple leadership levels, including the pilot who held authority on the flight. This clearly shows that employees were not empowered to make independent decisions or use their judgment during the unexpected situations. As a result, rigid decision-making caused the situation to escalate that ultimately caused further damage to United Airlines' reputation.
Hi, I'm Melvin. Leadership is the process of influencing others to achieve organizational goals. The United Airlines passenger removal incident highlights about how leadership traits and behavior at the top level can significantly influence organizational outcomes. As the CEO, Oscar Munoz, leadership traits during the crisis have negatively affected United Airlines' reputations. Let's continue with the first leadership traits shown by Oscar Munoz. Lack of emotional stability and integrity. Traits theory suggests that effective leaders have emotional stability, honesty, and integrity. Emotional stability allows leaders to remain calm and consistent during a crisis. Now, in these issues, Oscar Munoz described the violent removal of passenger as reaccommodations, which contradict video evidence and public evidence, and this reflected poor emotional control and lack of integrity. This trait has caused the public to distrust United Airlines. Now, the company experienced severe reputational damage as customers and stakeholders also perceive United Airlines as unethical and insensitive. This has caused customers' confidence towards the airlines to weaken. Now, continue with the second one, which is leadership behavior theory, high initiating structure, and low considerations. Leadership behavior theories identifies two key behavior, which are initiating structure, task and rule focus, and consideration, concern for people. Munoz's response reinforced a culture where procedures were prioritized over empathy. Munoz employed institutional and procedural language that presented the incident as a standard operating method instead of coming as a human failure. This reflects high initiating structure but low considerate leader behavior. Now, this has impacted the employee in the company to rigidly follow the company rules without practicing ethical decisions. This leadership behavior also contributed to a sharp decline in customer satisfactions. Crocodile 2020 states that companies should be prepared against potential crisis, so the ethical value can be preserved during crisis management processes, emphasizing the importance of considerations toward people. That is all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ajay. Now let's move on to the last two traits. The third one is ineffective situational matching. Friedler's contingency theory mentioned that leadership effectiveness depends in matching leadership style to the situation. In this incident, the inability to adapt leadership style on unfavorable high-stress situation can be seen when Oscar Munoz failed to shift from task-oriented approach to a relationship approach, when relationship between leader and member are weak due to the public pressure. This lack of adaptable ability make the crisis escalate rather than stabilize, resulting in $1 billion loss in market value and increase in the overall recovery cost. The last trait is failure of transformational leadership to become a moral influence. United Airlines' absence of idealized influence and inspirational motivation disturbed employees to act beyond self-interest. Munoz failed to act as a moral role model and uphold United Airlines' core company value, as his response implicitly justified unethical adherence to company policy. This will encourage long-term damage to employee morale and brand equity, because the lack of moral guidance left employees without a clear ethical direction for future customer interaction. That is all. Thank you.
United Airlines 2017 incident where Dr. Dow was forcibly removed from a flight revealed systemic management failures. Using evidence-based management theories, we can identify specific solutions to prevent this from happening ever again. The first, planning. United needs to set smart goals, focus on customers' dignity, not just cost-cutting. Specific goals. Start with S. Specific goals. 95% of customers' satisfaction on overbooking. Measurable through satisfaction surveys. And A, which is attainable with proper resource. Realistic and serving competitive advantage. And then timely reviews quarterly. And then research proves this works. Varma 2021 study found that organizational goals emphasizing ethical values directly impact performance. 70% of United shares price variation was explained by responsible leadership actions. Pre-planned crisis responses also influence customer trust and behavioral intention. United failed because they had no ethical goals and no contingency plans. And then organizing. Second, organizing. United should decentralize authority to gate agents, giving them decision-making power with ethical guidelines. They should also use cross-functional teams, combining gate agents, supervisors, and customer service staff instead of isolated individuals' decisions. Employee empowerment studies shows that this improves decision quality significantly. Cross-functional collaboration reduces groupthink that occur when the gate agent, pilot, and security all silently agreed to removal without questioning ethics. Third, leading. Munoz failed because he lacked transformational leadership. He should have articulated clear values. Customer dignity is non-negotiable. Model ethical behavior. Immediately apologized and took responsibility. Inspired employees. Made work meaningful through customer service excellence. Airline operation research shows that leaders' integrity and emotional intelligence directly build employee trust and customer service quality. Munoz did the opposite. He defended the decision instead of apologizing. Fourth, motivation. Gate agents' higher order needs were unmet. United should provide meaningful work, showing task significance. Second, grant autonomy for decision making. Third, link rewards to ethical choices, not cost-cutting. When procedures are rewarded but ethics aren't, employee choose procedures. United must reverse this incentive structure. And then fifth, decision making. Define problem holistically. How do we serve the crew ethically? Not remove the passenger. Use structure conflict. Devils advocate questioning assumption. Use group decision technique to prevent groupthink. And then research shows diverse group perspective produce more ethical outcomes than isolated decisions. Finally, strategy and culture. In the social media age, one incident goes viral instantly. United should differentiate on customer service values, not cost cutting, and then build strong ethical culture through visible leadership modeling, and then prioritize stakeholder responsibility, customers, employee, and then society, not just shareholder profit. And then strong organizational cultures directly influence ethical judgment at all levels. That's all.
To conclude, the United Airlines incident highlights a serious leadership failure marked by a lack of empathy, ethical judgment, and effective crisis management. Misalignment between company values and employee action combined with poor leadership. Hence, we propose 6 solutions to prevent the similar incident to happen again, which are planning, organizing, learning, good decision making, motivating, and something to do with strategy and culture. That's all from us. Thank you.